Are you intrigued by the things that go bump in the night? Have you ever gotten the heebie-jeebies when you pass by an old house? Ever desired to dance in a cemetery? Or even obsess over the dark and obscure? Well, me too. Hi, I'm Nicole, and strange topics are my specialty.
From the creators of the White Wednesday Radio Network and Lead Up Studios, this is The Dark with Nicole.
Hello, my bats and baddies. Welcome to our month. Okay, we're here. This is when we come alive. I have surely come alive.
The holy time.
Like, everything's dying and I'm here for it. I'm hoping you're enjoying October as much as I am, because 'tis the season here in Ohio. It has dropped to the 50s and last night dropped to the 20s. It was great.
It was so cold.
It was great. I was freezing, but also not. So today, I was trying to figure out something to talk about, and since it's October, it obviously needs to be spooky, and that's what we do here at The Dark. So I chose the most haunted places in the U.S.
Oh, good job.
And we've talked about some, so I'm going to skip over those, like Mansfield Reformatory and things.
Yeah, just be like, we know. She's old news.
Yeah. I wish I could live screen share with you so you could see the pictures.
It's fine.
Okay. It's just, this picture's cool. No, I can put the
just
link
send me
in
the link.
Sorry, people.
We're not organized today.
We're not. We're on our third podcast recording today.
Yeah, because someone dropped the ball last week and forgot a laptop charger.
Yeah, I did. I'm not even going to deny it. Paste. Huzzah. Okay. So, first place, Bodie, California. In the 1870s and 80s, Bodie boomed when gold was found in the hills surrounding Mono Lake. At one point, it was home to 10,000 people. It's now a state historic park, with some parts of the town preserved in a state of arrested decay. Think tables with place settings, like you can see the picture of it. And shops stocked with supplies.
Old sewing machine there.
It's just an abandoned town. It's like a museum. It's great.
Yeah.
And it's not surprising that there have been many reports of supernatural activity here, including ghost sightings and music playing from shuttered bars. There's also a legend that any visitor who takes anything from Bodie, even a rock, will be cursed with bad luck and health problems upon leaving. Does that mean like the dirt you collect on your shoe?
I don't know if the curse is that specific.
I know, but yeah. Next, Bonaventure Cemetery, Savannah, Georgia. In the 90s, this cemetery was featured in the Midnight in Garden of Good and Evil novel. The Savannah Cemetery itself has a Southern Gothic atmosphere with Spanish moss giving shade to time-worn Victorian monuments. There are many notable figures buried here, like singer Johnny Mercer and poet Conrad Aiken. But it's Grace Watson who most deserves a visit. Having died at just 6 years old, her grave was marked by a life-size marble statue with her hand resting on a tree stump, symbolizing her life cut short. Many visitors place toys at her grave when they visit, and some have reported seeing the ghost of Gracie near the site. Other spooky accounts of the Bonaventure include inexplicable sounds like crying babies and barking dogs, and statues suddenly smiling at people as people approach them. Most of these are in the South, and I really enjoy that. Cahaba, Alabama.
Cahaba?
I'm not even going to try because I'm sure I'm not even close to pronouncing it correctly. Alabama's first capital and famous ghost town takes its name from the state's longest river situated at the confluence of the Cahaba and the Alabama. It was abandoned after the Civil War, and its empty buildings, slave burial ground, and eerie cemeteries are now popular settings for ghost tours and stories of paranormal activity. I'm sorry, no. Anything with the word burial ground in it, don't go there.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's slave burial ground.
That sounds cursed.
That means don't go.
Yeah, definitely don't.
No. The most famous tale is that of a luminous floating orb appearing in the former garden maze of Colonel C.C. Peggy's house shortly after.
Peggy's?
Yeah, I have no idea. Shortly after the colonel had been killed in battle, the phenomenon became known as that last name's ghost.
I think it's Picuse.
Picuse ghost, and still attracts curious visitors to the site today.
I don't know. Try this next one too.
Yeah. Mount Caucasus.
Mount Caucasus.
That's not what it is, people.
Biggest.
Calcasieu. It's probably like a bayou.
Calcasieu
Courthouse, Lake Charles, Louisiana. Toni Jo Henry was a former sex worker who reached national levels of infamy when she killed a man in cold blood in 1940.
Good for her.
Good for you, babe.
You're doing fine, sweetie.
You're doing great. It took the 3 trials for a jury to convict the charming Toni Jo, but she eventually became the first and only woman in Louisiana to be executed in the electric chair. However, her spirit is said to have remained in the courthouse, where workers can feel her presence and even smell her burning hair. Many claim she meddles with everyday life at the courthouse to make life more difficult for the employees, locking doors and fiddling with office equipment.
Listen, if you're a ghost, what else would you do?
I know. Did you see the meme I sent the group yesterday in the text? The work group?
No.
Rude. I'm going to look it up
because at this point I'm a part of so many chats that I've just disassociated.
It was watching a murder documentary. TV. The woman stabbed her cheating husband, me. Good for her.
Yes, I did see that one.
Okay. Next. Crescent Hotel, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And I know I pronounced it incorrectly. Suck my dick. Since its construction in 1886, the Crescent Hotel has served several purposes: luxury resort, conservatory for young women, junior college. But the strangest mark on its history came in 1937, when it got a new owner, Norman G. Baker. Okay. Baker was a millionaire inventor. I was thinking of Norman from Bates Motel. That's what it is, Bates. I was like, did this just turn?
No. I was like, I knew where your mind was, but I'm like, no, honey.
Baker was a millionaire inventor who decided to pose as a doctor despite having no medical training and turn the hotel into a hospital. I think I remember something about this. Not like I was alive then, but I've heard something about it. Say. I am 100 years old almost.
This is the skin of a killer Bella.
This is the skin of a killer Bella. And turn the hotel into a hospital that could cure, air quotations, cancer. He was eventually exposed and run out of town. The reports say that his spirit found its way back to the site and gained some unworldly company too. The now operating Crescent Hotel is said to be haunted by at least 8 ghosts, ranging from a 5-year-old girl to a bearded man wearing Victorian clothing. That would be fun to go to. I don't want to go to Arkansas, but...
Yeah, nobody wants to go to Arkansas.
Dock Street Theater, Charleston, South Carolina. One of the oldest theaters in America, this site in downtown Charleston has racked up a lot of tumultuous? I think it was trying to say tumultuous, or it just says tumult, in history over the years. After a fire burned down the original theater, the Planters Inn was built on the spot. It was converted back to a theater in the 1930s. The most flamboyant ghost here is Nettie Dickerson, who, legend has it, was struck by lightning while standing on the balcony of the hotel. Her shadow has been reported gliding along the second floor of the theater, dressed in a red gown. Also in otherworldly attendance, Junius Brutus Booth, a renowned 19th century actor and the father of the Lincoln assassin John Wilkes Booth, who used to frequent the inn. The Drizkill in Austin, Texas. The Drizkill is a majestic Romanesque hotel with modern rooms and an iconic brick facade, drawing European tourists and wedding parties since 1886. It's a true Austin landmark and, according to some, a true hotspot for ghosts. Travelers have noted eerily abnormal sounds through its ornate corridors, as well as phantom sightings of the hotel's namesake Jesse Drizkill, whose portrait still hangs in the lobby. They say Drizkill never recovered from the heartbreak of losing his hotel in a high-stakes poker game, and honestly, we get it. This spot would have been a hard one to say goodbye to. I don't know if we've talked about this next one. The Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I don't think we have.
The castle-like Eastern State Penitentiary took solitary confinement to new levels when it was built in 1829. Prisoners lived alone, exercised alone, and ate alone. When an inmate left his cell, a guard would cover his head with a hood so he couldn't see or be seen. The prison had to abandon its solitary system due to overcrowding from 1913 until it closed in 1970. Although the forms of punishment did not get any less severe, chaining an inmate's tongue to his wrist is one example. The site, one of the most haunted places in America, now welcomes thousands of visitors every year, both for its museum and annual Halloween celebrations. Which feature 15 haunted attractions within the prison walls. Reported paranormal happenings have included disembodied laughter, shadowy figures, and pacing footsteps. That sounds fun. Emily's Bridge, Stowe, Vermont. New England is known for its lovely covered bridges, but some are more likely to elicit dread than delight. Emily's Bridge is a 50-foot long bridge that is said to be the site of a young woman's death by suicide in the mid-1800s. According to the legend, the woman was supposed to meet her lover at the bridge to elope, but ended up hanging herself from the rafters when he never showed up. Today, Emily's ghost is said to maliciously haunt the site, clawing at passing cars and even scratching the backs of pedestrians until they bleed. They are slightly less menacing spooks as well, like images of a white apparition and strange voices and footsteps coming from the tunnel. One on here I'm not even going to read about because imagine Gettysburg Battlefield.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine the paranormal activity there. I have never been there, but it's something I would want to see. Just like the field.
Yeah.
Not like the reenactments or anything. Like, I just want to sit there and look at the field.
And know that people murdered each other.
Yeah, like
in
the
a
fighting and
bloodiest
everything.
battle.
Yeah, that's why I want to go. Hotel Mont Vista, Flagstaff, Arizona. Flagstaff's Hotel Mont Vista has its fair share of paranormal guests who have truly overstayed their welcome, including a long-term boarder who had a habit of hanging raw meat from the chandelier in room 210. 2 women who were also thrown from the 3rd floor and allegedly now attempt to asphyxiate male guests in their sleep. Who wouldn't? There are also reports of an infant whose disturbing cries have sent staff members running upstairs from the basement. Actor John Wayne even claims to have had a paranormal encounter here. And I'm going to do one more because it's Salem.
All right.
And I have to. It's Salem.
Duh.
House of the Seven Gables, Salem, Massachusetts. No, this house did not steal its name from the classic novel. In fact, it is inspired the novel. Aside from being the site of those famous witch trials, Salem also happens to be the birthplace of Nathaniel Hawthorne.
I have to make chili.
Oh my God. We have time. It's 12:30.
Okay.
Almost. Sorry, people.
Priorities.
Nathaniel Hawthorne, who used this 17th century house as inspiration for his famous 1851 novel, The House of the Seven Gables. Aside from its beautiful yet spooky facade, the house is surrounded by tales of paranormal activity, ghost sightings, all based on personal experiences of the staff. And it's a black house. It's everything you could ever want. So there's some stuff for you. There's like a zoo on here. Another I can't. I had to do this when we were talking kind of about it. Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast, Fall River, Massachusetts.
Yes.
She's one of my favorite murderesses. Murderess. Without a doubt, the most famous haunted bed and breakfast in New England is the Lizzie Borden House in Fall River. For those unfamiliar with the story, police accused Borden of brutally killing her father and stepmother with a hatchet in 1892. She was acquitted of the murders later that year. At the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast Museum, visitors can tour the house or spend the night, even staying in the room where Abby Borden was killed. Guests and employees have reported all kinds of strange activity in the house, including weeping and footstep sounds, an apparition in Victorian-era clothing wandering the halls, doors opening and closing, and muffled conversation coming from vacant rooms. I would go stay there.
Okay. Have fun.
Listen, I'm not all about haunted houses and things and staying at haunted places, but the Lizzie Borden one would be great.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Have fun with that one. I'm not.
Come on.
No.
Come on, it could be an episode.
No.
It could be a radio show.
No.
Stay up with us all night at the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast.
Listen to Cena slowly lose her fucking mind.
Listen. Come on.
To me, lose my mind.
No. It'll be so much fun.
No.
Please.
No.
Come on.
No.
It's going to happen, guys. Like she said, Nicole plans things and she just goes.
I just go with it. Yeah, that's why when you said you were, I could dominate you, I was like,
I mean,
I think the term
you dominate
for is manipulate.
Oh, I mean, yes. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's okay. I'm okay with it. All right. Well, happy spooky season and keep it spooky. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to The Dark, a White Wednesday Radio Network production. Our executive producer is Dustin from the Lead Up Studios team in St. Louis, Missouri. Be sure to like, follow, and share us with your friends on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and more by searching White Wednesday. You can find The Dark on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more.